You know, one of the great things about growing a garden is herbs, and that's because they have so much flavor and different types of flavors, and you can really add them to almost anything we start cooking. And so I'm going to bring up, first of all, parsley. Now, a lot of us think of parsley as that plant that just is on the plate in a restaurant. It actually is a very delicious plant. It can do well in salads. You can also use it in different types of stews. This one here is English thyme, and I think a lot of people know the name thyme, but it's a wonderful with a lot of different meats, especially beefs and porks, and it also does well in different types of stews. One that I'm very familiar with and absolutely adore is mint, and that's because it goes in a lot of adult beverages. Now, if you do plant mint, it is an invasive little gal, so she will spread all over the garden. So it's best to try to keep it in a container or someplace that you know where it's going to grow and you can contain it that way. Chives and baked potatoes, I can't imagine someone who would have one without them. And both the mint and this are hardy in our area. So once you plant them, you'll have them for a long time. And then you just go out, snip a little off, chop it up, and it's great on a baked potato. One of the newer introductions to our area is Stevia. Now, Stevia is a sweetening plant, which means it can replace sugar, and it's set up to be up to 300 times sweeter than sugar was. So that's a lot of sweetness added in there. And I'm going to make Judy actually eat one right now.
All right.
The wonderful thing about it is sweet, isn't it? And it's great too because if you have, diabetes, it doesn't affect that because it's a natural sweetener, not a sugar. And if you take like a cup of tea, throw a few leaves in when you're cooking it, it really sweetens it up. And then this is lemongrass. Now, lemongrass is not hardy in our area, but it's a beautiful plant just to look at in the garden. But then a lot of Asian cooks use it, and they use it in soups and different stuff like that, and has a wonderful, wonderful lemon flavor to it when it's cooked. And I think that any of these that you choose, just go to your garden centers and talk to the people about it and see which ones would work in your garden.
Yeah, also make sure that you put your herb container right out your back door, right near the kitchen, because then you can go and use them right when you're cooking. You don't have to go to the back 40 to go harvest them. And it's also very economical to grow your own herbs because you go to the grocery store, you get that bunch, you need it for one recipe, and then you throw the rest away because it just rots. So this way you can just kind of harvest what you need. One of my favorites, and I'm touching here, is rosemary. I just love the fragrance of rosemary, and there's so many different varieties at your garden center, your favorite garden center. So make sure you kind of touch all of them and kind of smell the fragrance because we all have different, olfactory systems and taste buds, and they all kind of taste different to us. But great hardy plant for our gardens. You can use rosemary on your potatoes. It's great in soups and stews, and even in this barbecue season, take some of the woody stems, take off the leaves, and use them for skewers, and it also imparts the flavor right into the meat, so it's really great to have. Now, basil. Wow, what is a garden without basil?
Love basil.
You can use it in your salads. You can use it when you garnish your tomato sauces, your pasta dishes. It's great in pasta salads. It's just lovely. It's just a great plant to have. It isn't annual, so enjoy it all summer long because it's going to be gone with the frost. Another great hardy one is bay. And bay is really nice to have for your soups and stews for wintertime. I really love to put it, like if I'm doing a crock pot dish, because you put it in there and it just kind of disseminates all through that stew as it's cooking all day. And it's an evergreen plant, so it's a nice ornamental too. And sages, we're kind of going into the fall here. Sages are really good. I love it in turkey stuffing, so make sure you have that so you can cook your Thanksgiving dinner. It's a beautiful plant. This one is called Crema. It's a newer variety, so it's a pretty ornamental, kind of sparks up that herb garden. I love it with the variety, the variegation here, but there's all kinds of sages. There's a purple one, there's a gray, silver one, but very nice. It's a stronger tasting herb, so you don't have to use a lot of it in your dishes. To go back to lemons, like William was talking about, this is lemon verbena, which is a very subtle lemon flavor. I love it in teas and in garnishes, also kind of chop it up and put it in fruit salads. So that's a very nice one. That is a tender one too, so either leave it in a pot and bring it in for the winter time, or you just kind of let it go with the frost. And then another one, I think that it's not used a lot, is tarragon. And tarragon, again, is a very subtle kind of licorice flavor. I have put it in vinegars and kind of use it in vinaigrettes. Also good with chicken and chicken salads and chicken dishes. Also would love a little afternoon shade, because sometimes we have a little bit of shade. We never know what kind of herbs can go in the shade. Tarragon would be a very good one for that. You know, we have so many different choices here. You go to any of your independent garden centers and they're going to have a wide selection for you. So make sure you take a stop at one of your favorite garden centers and look at all the herbs.